Dublab's a mysterious entity, sort of like maybe the Secret Service a little bit. What kids 20 years from now will be elbowing each other in hushed tones about, that's the kind of music they want to play now.
It's definitely one of the cooler things about Dublab. Being contemporary and being unique just kind of happens here.
It's a collective of guys that we all respect each other in terms of our commitment to music.
I've heard music that I've never dreamed was even possible to make.
You know, I wasn't really hip to online radio or music as much before I met Dublab. They're not really so worried about the trends and things. They just love music, and that's what it's about. The record industry's forgot that, you know, what they were working with was music.
Well, I think originally it was conceived as being an internet provider of sound, right? Just this kind of very simple idea. You provide music online where there was a gap of interesting music, you know, mainly electronic or eclectic music.
We had a hard time trying to fit ourselves into a box, so we decided to just kind of come up with our own genre. And that was the idea of future roots. And the idea of future roots music is that it's the most progressive, forward-thinking music that oftentimes isn't released yet. It's fresh from the studio, fresh from its moment of creation.
And it's grown into not only focusing on electronic music, but all kinds of sounds, but also all kinds of cultural events, and also like this really strong moment for Los Angeles.
It's very LA based, you know, core LA, but it's half and half. We are not one-sided LA or one-sided one town. We are global radio, global expansive progressive station, outlet for art and music.
There's different events we do over the year. The Dublab Matinee is one of them, where we feature music videos, short films, animation.
The Up Our Sleeve show that we did with the album covers. I think we started that in about 2003, I think it was, and we sent out blank record sleeves to different artists all over the world.
The current art project we're working on is called Into Infinity. Different artists are going to provide or do art exploring the theme of infinity. We're asking them to provide 8-second loops, which would be the 8 sign.
So the idea is to create something that every time it's viewed will be unique. Every piece of art and music that is submitted to the show is licensed under the non-commercial derivative use license under Creative Commons, so that people can download high-res versions of the visual art and the music loops, remix them and resubmit them back to the show, so that the show then starts regenerating on itself and remixing itself.
There's a program going on right now where they're going to take a bunch of young kids to make radio programs. They're almost teaching kids how to do podcasts.
Listening to future radio. There's alien attacking me. And a dinosaur's favorite restaurant is young people.
There's been a general sense of paranoia and fear in major record labels, and it's this impending sense of doom, but it's really something that they've brought on themselves. When you make, I guess, enemies like that, they can be dangerous because they have a lot of influence. You know, the RIAA and different people who are out there and have a lot of resources in the government. They're lobbying money, they have a lot of weapons, you know, and they, for a long time, have wanted to squash those independent voices.
It's strange how these laws are made to somehow free or benefit artists, but it's really to benefit these few major label corporations. At the same time, these laws, not only is it like it's a double whammy basically. It's a catch-22 for internet radio because they get charged more than traditional radio, and yet they're treated under the same laws and provisions of traditional radio. So it's extremely difficult. They're going to kill the medium. They're going to kill the messenger, effectively. You know, it's like there's all this really good news that wants to come in, but if they kill the messenger, it's never going to have the chance to find its voice.
A large amount of our funding comes directly from listeners.
Proton Drive, we do 2 of them every year. Our drives are one of the main source of income that pay for rent, that buys new cables, headphones that break, and not only maintain what we have, but it also helps us grow.
We're asking people to become very proactive members of the Dublab community. Every dollar or euro or yen or rupee that people donate is immediately put back in the lab, which helps them out. It brings them more music and allows us to do more for them.
We're getting our feet moving. We're getting ourselves off the ground with the whole nonprofit realm, looking for grants and all this. It's gonna be tough. We've already gotten some sponsors. It's just so amazing to be non-commercial and to not have ads blasted in your face.
The international thing is what really excites me. People from different countries get to communicate and hear each other, keep in touch and everything like that.
This kind of music is on the fringe, but then when you can connect people from so many different places to that fringe, it's an incredible thing, and that's really what makes it possible. I mean, the power of it is the international community that supports it.
To do something like this and jump into it and start your own Dublab or something similar, like there are so many tools available these days, so you don't have to go overboard. You don't have to have the newest, finest gadgets. Well, the most important thing is just to have the enthusiasm and to, for us being a music-based radio station is to, just collect people around us who are inspired to share music and want to put that out there in the world. So it's really important to kind of have that basis.
I mean, it's really exciting to think that some dude in China could be listening to this. The golden firewall doesn't block it, or whatever it's called. It actually could be happening, and it's amazing. It's humbling. It's incredible. It's incredible.
We've always wanted to go out there with the DIY punk rock attitude and say this is a small bit of revolution. If we can be a strong voice and bring exciting music into the world, then we're going to keep doing it as long as we can.
All the way to China, the going was rough. Then my dad came outside and said, that's deep enough.